So I didn't have to do that with Jennifer because Jennifer turned out to be everything I thought she would. But I had a case with Rosie O'Donnell. Not that I want to put Jennifer and Rosie in the same category. Well, what a difference. You're talking about a major difference here. But Rosie, I gave one of our contestants a second chance, Tara Connor, because she had a drug problem, a drinking problem, and about 15 other problems that nobody even knows about. And I gave her a second chance. They were going to throw her out of the Miss USA crown like a dog. Never happened before. It would have been just very destructive to her life. So I didn't even think about it. My people wanted her thrown out. Everybody wanted her thrown out. I met her, and I liked her. And I gave her a second chance. And by the way, to this day, she's sober, doing great, and she's really, you heard about that, Jennifer. She's doing great. Tara. But Rosie O'Donnell went crazy. Who the hell is he to give a second chance? I can't stand him. Who is he giving this? And then I went crazy about her. And the good news is that she said the other day one of the dumbest things she ever did was to attack me. Here's the thing. Get even with people in business. Because if you don't, they will continue to go after you. And not even those people, but other people. And they're not necessarily teaching you this stuff in school, but this is things that I've learned over the years. You got to get even with people. Because even if you don't come into contact with them, everyone else knows you're a fighter. And you're not going to take crap. And other people aren't going to take advantage of you. So I think it's really important. If somebody screws you, screw them back in spades. And I really believe it's important whether you like it or not. Now, there's another thing that I talk about, and it's very important, and it applies just as much to women as it does to men. Because some women are much more successful than men. I see women in this audience that are with their husbands, and the woman is much smarter than the husband. I mean, I can see by looking at a couple of them. Okay? No, there's not even a doubt in my mind. And what happens is, in business, you need certainty. It's an important word. When you go out and borrow $100 million or $2 million or $3 million or a certain amount of money, you need certainty. And I've seen in my country, and I know you have the same problem because I was told your divorce rate in this country is astronomical. But I've seen in my country businesses destroyed over divorce, where if a woman had nothing to do with it, she'll claim that she built the business. If a man had nothing to do, he'll claim. So I say, always get a prenuptial agreement. All right? Now, and everyone always laughs, but you know, the truth is, it's necessary. I've seen it so many times before. I see it left and right. Always get a prenuptial agreement. Because if you're looking to build a business, now if you're looking to stay with no money, no this, no that, you're doing just fine. And frankly, I have one, but I find it's a lot easier to get now than when you hate each other, if that day ever comes. And I've seen so many businesses destroyed, just absolutely destroyed. So, you need certainty in business. You need absolute certainty. You can't have your banks loaning you money and you're not getting along with your wife and you know it's not going to work, or your husband, and you know it's not going to work. And then she sues you because she wants the whole business, and you're in court for years and years and years, and the business goes to hell. So many businesses. I think it's actually, and I've never seen a statistic on it, but it's one of the main reasons for business failure. So I say it. Always have a prenuptial agreement. It's not nice. It's not pretty. It possibly even leads more easily to divorce because it's an easy out, and I don't like that. But you're here not to become and not to be knighted into sainthood. You're here to learn about business and real life business. And you really need that certainty. I have certain bankers that are very smart. They will not loan to a company where the man and the wife are working more or less together as partners and they don't have a prenuptial agreement. And actually, the banks are very smart in doing it, and they're doing it more and more. So I say always have a prenuptial agreement. Now, what you want to do is get out, work hard. You're in a great country. This country is a great country. It really is. I have so many friends from Australia. A lot of them have moved to New York, but they always come back. I mean, to them, a lot of countries, they move to New York, they don't want to come back to their country. Everybody from Australia, when they go to New York, they expect to come back. But I have so many friends from Australia. They love this country. It's a great country. It's a rich country. It's a really rich country, and it's a beautiful country. And honestly, it's my great honor to be with this very beautiful full auditorium tonight. I'm going to run through a couple of other points. Think big, much easier. Think big. Focus on the positive. It's really important to focus on the positive. The word momentum is a word that you never hear in success talks, and it's a word that I felt to be very important. When you have momentum going, play that momentum. It's like a game. It's like a football game or a baseball game. You probably never heard the word momentum. I'll give you a story that I think is an interesting story. You know Levitt. Levitt was a great home builder. And he did a phenomenal job. He built Levittowns all over the world. Did anyone ever hear of Levittown? He'd build inexpensive homes all over the world, all over the United States, and there was nobody better. He'd pick up nails at the end of the day. He'd pick up sawdust and sell it. They were inexpensive homes, but he made a fortune. He sold his company to IT&T, which is a big conglomerate. They destroyed the company. They didn't know what to do. They bought land that they didn't have zoned. They did all sorts of things. But he retired to the south of France. He bought himself a beautiful boat. I shouldn't say this. He got himself a new wife, LaBelle. Her name was LaBelle. Couldn't be Belle. Had to be LaBelle. Because he had a couple of $100 million, which, by the way, in the 1950s, that was like, selling for $2 billion. Bought a boat, extended the boat, spent a lot of money, lived like a king. For 15 years, he lived like a king. And the big conglomerate, ITT, destroyed his company. They spent so much money. They didn't pick up nails. They didn't pick up anything. They didn't know what they were doing. So they wanted to sell Levitt. Now he was older. He didn't have momentum because he was out of the business for 15 years. They called him up. They said, would you like to buy your company back? He jumped at the opportunity. He bought his company back. He paid too much, but he was so anxious to buy it back, and he went bankrupt. And I saw him as an old man, and I was a young guy. This was in the 1960s. I was a young guy doing well and coming up, and I was at a cocktail party. And he was at the cocktail party. I had great respect for him, because, like all of us, we have respect for certain people. And I had great respect because he built a great company. And even if they blow it at some point, he really built a great company, and not that many people can get to do that. So I see him at this cocktail party. And it's an elitist party with very big people. It's on Fifth Avenue, and he's an old man sitting in the corner, and all these guys are coming up and shaking my hand and shaking everyone else's hand. Nobody cared about him because they knew he was finished. Very sad. When they think you're in trouble, there's nothing meaner than the human species. They think you're in trouble, it's over. You don't talk to people anymore. Your best friends don't talk to you anymore. So, it's very interesting. So he's sitting in a corner, nobody talking to him, but I respected him, so I went over and talked to him. And I said, Mr. Levitt, how are you doing? And he goes, not good, Donald, not good at all. I went bankrupt. I said, what happened? He said, I lost my momentum. I should have never gone in for a second try I lost my momentum. I was never able to get it back. It's the only time I ever heard the word momentum used having to do with success, but it always played a big role when I speak about it. Some of you have great momentum going now. Play it. Others of you don't. Others of you, it's over. And if it's over, know it's over. There's nothing wrong with it. But the word momentum, when you think of that, think of William Levitt. Just think about it. So, I just want to end by saying that I've enjoyed this. I've really enjoyed it. I'm going to come back. They want me back, and we're going to be back again at some point in the not-too-distant future. But so much of success is seeing yourself as victorious. You have to see yourself. You have to really believe in yourself. And sometimes it's hard. You know, you've had failures, you've had weaknesses, you've had other things. You have to see yourself as a one-man band. Don't rely too much on other people because they'll let you down. You have to see yourself as victorious. And to be a winner, you have to think like a winner. If you don't think like a winner, it's just never going to happen. And I have to tell you, it's a real honor, and even though the 22-hour trip is a little abnormally long, this is an amazing group of people, and it's an amazing country, and I very much appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
One more time for Mr. Donald Trump. Oh, let me hear you, everybody, one more time.